right. This is Ezra from Face Down, your favorite worship block on every Sunday morning. And joining me today is an artist that I grew up with. I think a lot of you had a chance to grow up with him too. And he is still out here making some of the best music I've ever heard. His new album, Milk and Cookies, A Merry Crowder Christmas. It is Crowder. Thank you for joining us today.
I am thrilled to be here, man. It feels festive. It just the holiday season feels upon us.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit fanboying here. Like I said, I grew up on your music. Mom blasting the album in the car, just trying to like force us into into the church through osmosis, and it worked. It did
Yeah,
work.
I was in the same back seat. Yeah, I get it.
Well, hey, thank you for making that backseat enjoyable. Speaking
That's
of
awesome.
enjoyable, this new album of yours, I really loved it. It's got this nice three-act structure where
Uh-huh.
it looks like we've got some Thanksgiving music to start, and then we get into some Santa and his elves, and finishing off with some more traditional Christmas music. So I wanted to ask, why this three-act structure for this album? What was the inspiration behind that?
Well, first of all, making a Christmas album, here we are. It's just barely November, and we're talking about Christmas. Growing up, Crowder Christmases didn't start till after Thanksgiving. You get through. I like to say you got to keep your beverages separated. We you got to get all the way through pumpkin spice, the browns and the oranges. You let that thing happen, and then you move on to like the wassail and the apple ciders and that kind of thing. You got to keep the beverages separate, and so we didn't start Christmas till Thanksgiving was done. Now I think September you're seeing ornaments hitting the shelves at some of our
You're
favorite
right.
chains.
I was just in the Walmart
Um,
the other day, and we had the Halloween stuff was taken down the day before Halloween, and they had already started to put up the fake Christmas trees.
You got to be quick, man. You got to be quick. We've always waited, and we hadn't. I get depressed when I see it come too soon. I'm like, wait. Anticipation's half of it. When you're planning for that vacation, half of the enjoyment is the planning, and then when you get there, you hit the Disneyland. So you're tired. Day one, you're done. It's like, man, it's too much at once. It's like, so I think you got to pace yourself. You don't need to start too soon. You'll wear yourself out, and so talking about it now feels I don't know, the family's having a hard time with it.
Now,
Families, this is rough on the household. But that's why we started with a Thanksgiving song, Thanksgiver. I figured folks like you would pick up on that nod. But the three act deal, man, I also associate Christmas with television, like the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You got to have a Burl Ives. You got to have a narrator kind of walking you through what you're seeing there on the screen. In this case, we got a wonderful narrator that's kind of helping us absorb the joy of Christmas and the heaviness of Christmas, and also how in the world Jesus and Santa Claus can sit next to each other. That's a complicated thing, and I think you need narration to help sort things out there. And so that was a lot of it was nod to my upbringing and how I think of nostalgically my Christmas celebrations with the family.
so following up on that, I do want to ask, what is your favorite Christmas memory? What is that memory that stands out in your mind as this is what Christmas is really all about? Like, what would you tell Charlie Brown, I guess?
Okay, well, one of my favorite things that happens every Christmas, and it's a legitimate tradition because it's happened as long as I can remember. And my dad reading Luke 2. So first of all, it's about the birth of Jesus and how this changed the world. History changed in this moment, and it's wonderful to celebrate and think about it. But I'll tell you, one of my favorite memories is a tradition in the Crowder house that almost came to an end. It was so close. We almost lost it one year. There's always this one particular dish that comes with Christmas time, and it's this: when the family gets together, there's this one dish. It's called like a Jello salad. It's green. It has things that don't go together in it. There's the cottage cheese, green Jello, of course. So I don't I can't get past the cottage cheese, pineapple slices, some pecans, some marshmallows. I don't. It's stuff that shouldn't be in a bowl with each other, but it's all there mixed together. And every year there was always just one spoonful missing, just one dollop gone. And And year after year, this is the case. And then, it's my mom. My mom makes the green Jello dressing, and it's my mom that has the one dollop on her plate. And so one year she's like, I don't think I'm making the Jello salad anymore. And you would think that we were told Santa is not coming. And everybody freaked out. We're like, no, you got to have the green Jello. That's what makes it Christmas at the Crowders, is the green Jello salad. And she's like, well, I'm the only one that eats it. We're like, that's irrelevant. It would change everything. You would ruin Christmas if you take away the green Jello. So one of my favorite Christmas memories is a visceral reaction that all of the family had to taking away something that none of us want any part of. It was magical. Speaking of the magic of Christmas, that's what Christmas is all about, is family. Family's weird.
Absolutely. Weird. I have a very similar story. My mom has this extensive 100+ piece collection of little snowman ceramic figurines, like one of those little snowman villages. And she would put them absolutely everywhere, every single Christmas. There was like no table space. There was no space on the fireplace mantle. Everything was covered in tiny snowmen. And
I think your mom knows my mom. I think
we do have the same mother. Yes.
Do y'all do this? Because we have the snowmen. The snowmen, it's just like somebody threw up snowmen in our house.
Exactly.
So
yes.
Me and my brother would count the snowmen. It's like, how did we get more snowmen? Are there more snowmen?
There was always more snowmen.
It took us so long to count snowmen, and our counts would be off. It's like, we got to start over. There's too many snowmen. I can't keep up with this. 300 and what? What'd you get? 300 what? It's like, too many snowmen. A lot of snowmen.
And they never bought more. There were just magically more every year.
Well, I saw what's happening is, once you see somebody collects things, it makes the Christmas gift giving easy. It's like, oh, I wonder what mom's getting this year from Aunt Sue's.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe a snowman? Probably a snowman. There's 357 now. Okay, we got one from. So it makes gift giving easy when you're a collector. And but snowmen, at least they're out once a year, And once I got away from home, I'm like, Mom, how long does it take you to put these out? That's a large afternoon commitment to get all those snowmen and to pack them away safely. To pack a ceramic snowman away is tough, man.
It is, like, you've got to treat them so gingerly. And maybe this is just my mom, but did your mom also have like multiple Christmas trees, and she would do each one up in a separate style?
Oh, no, we just had the one.
Just the one?
We just had the one.
At least you're a little bit closer to like a purist Christmas, I think.
I wouldn't call it that. But multiple trees. We have a number of family members that have multiple trees. My wife's sister, she's got, I think last year she might have had 3 or 4 trees. Yeah. But they go with the particular room it's in.
Exactly.
It's decorated in the same, color. The hues are shared. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, hey, so I did want to ask you, what is your favorite song from your new album?
Okay. I would say right now it's the elf song.
The elf song,
hilarious.
Really?
You dropped it. It gets stuck in my head. I imagine in my head when it's stuck there, I picture minivans all across this great nation, full of kids in the back seat yelling, "Play the elf song, Daddy! Play the elf song!" And so, it makes me smile. It makes me feel festive. As I said, it's workers' rights thing. I feel Dylan-esque, having written it. Standing up, the little guy.
Yeah. It is a very catchy song. I will say that. I do think my favorite on the album, though, was your duet for "Go Tell It on the Mountain."
Oh my word, Ricky Skaggs.
He's a legend. He's an absolute legend.
1000%. And more so, here's what I loved about that song with him is his attention to it and his ownership of it. I mean, the dude, we're giving mix notes, throughout when you're wrapping things up, you're talking to the engineer that's mixing the album, and you're saying, hey, this up, this down, can you make my voice sound a little rounder? How about in this part, blah, blah, blah. And so we're done. We're like, this is great. I think it sounds amazing. Ricky was still giving mix notes. Like, he's the last dude still tweaking. And I mean, he's legend. His work ethic is phenomenal, and he's just a kind human, a gem of a creation. That guy.
And your chemistry on the song, I thought, was phenomenal. It sounded like you two had been performing together for decades.
Oh, dude, it's not a hobby for him. He was pulling me along. I was just in his wake, bro. It was like when he starts singing that second verse, he starts that second verse. I'm like, bro, just sing the whole deal, man. I want to listen to this. Can we turn the Crowder Christmas album into the Riggy Skaggs Crowder sponsored Christmas album? Because he sounds amazing. And his mandolin playing on that thing is sick. I remember showing it to the guys that play with me for the first time, and they heard it and they both looked at each other like, are you kidding me? Like, we got to play this stuff? Like, this is not going to be easy.
You made it sound so easy. You made it sound just so natural, and it's a great song. It's my favorite Christmas hymn as well. So I was very happy to hear that one, and it struck all the right notes with me. A very nostalgic note, you know?
That's awesome. Well, it's one of my favorite. It may be my favorite as well, because now at this point I have done it 3 times. I've got 3 different versions out there over the years, and I think that's what part of the whole season's about, is telling the story of Christ, not just consuming it.
Exactly. Yeah, and any way that we can find, I think, a new creative way to tell that story for a new generation, I think that's so important, because, we've both heard it probably 1 million times between the two of us. And I know everyone in my generation has heard it, and they could recite it from memory, even if they're not Christian.
Uh-huh.
And they really need to hear it in a new way so that it hits them in a different light, and it hits them a little bit harder, I think. So your album does that really, really well.
Great. Thank you. That's very kind. We should hang out more often.
You heard it here first, folks. I am now friends with Crowder. Now,
we need this kind of affirmation in our lives, man. This is very nice of you. Thank you. I need better friends or something, I'm gonna say something nice. Just one time.
Well, I would like to address a rumor now quickly as we're winding things up. Now, you do have a very impressive beard and a self-proclaimed affinity for milk and cookies. So can you, at this moment, confirm or deny, are you in fact Santa Claus?
I am not. That man's got magic stuff, dust, he sprinkles. I have no deer can fly around the Crowder house, and so no, it's just silly old me.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. That's the most important investigative journalism you'll hear this year. Crowder is not, in fact, Santa Claus. But Crowder, thank you for joining us here at The Effect. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas at your household, from mine to yours. And thank you for this album. It's really great. Again, it is Milk and Cookies, A Merry Crowder Christmas. Available right now anywhere you can find great music, Spotify, Apple Music, and of course the album is on sale. Thank you again.
Absolutely. And same to you guys. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas, and good to chat with you here, and hope to do it again soon.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you back on. Well, from all of us here at The Effect, a very Merry Christmas to you.